And this was from my fourth book. It's the Marriages. Thanks, Sammy, for this. Marriage today is an unconscionable contract that no sane man would ever enter into if the terms were offered to him by a potential business partner in any endeavor other than marriage. That's the one part where we will sort of throw caution to the wind because, well, exactly what James Sexton is just talking about right here. It's those feelings. Hell, man, I understand it, dude. I love my wife. I still do today. I can't wait to get back to Tahoe. Yeah, I mean, and that's the problem. You want to know the biggest problem I have with marriages is it's the contractual nature of it today in the 21st century, which is the legacy of the 20th century, I guess. But the contractual nature of it weaponizes, like he was saying, or it exploits that idealistic nature of love that men have. So I have said this on several occasions. You can go find this in my certainly the first three books. I've mentioned this too many times to count, but men are the natural romantics. We're the ones who come up with the ideas. We're the idealists when it comes to marriage because we want to believe, most guys anyways, particularly 80%ers, like the more blue pill beta guys, they want to believe that love should exist for the sake of love. Meanwhile, you got Logan Paul's new wife who's been turning it out with God knows how many guys. And now suddenly this is the real thing. This is the real one. Or you get the black couple that were getting married there. And it's like, even in the midst of the wedding, she can't say obey. She can't. And by the way, she can't let go of the fact that, hey, I'll marry you, but you got to stay on top of your game and you got to make a lot of money. That's transactional. That guy will never know validational sex with his own wife for the rest of his life. That's the guy who later on for 6 years is going to go get hand jobs down at the, Asian massage parlor, right? That's where it goes. And the burden, the onus is on the guy, because the minute that guy falters, the minute that guy says, you know what, maybe a hand job isn't so bad. That's the ethical way to do this, right? Because I'm not hurting anybody. Just want to go feel something for once, right? That guy gets taken to the cleaner, unless he's got a really great lawyer, right? Because we frown on it. What are you doing? You're going and seeing prostitutes. You would be a bad parent. Well, I lived in a sexless marriage for 6 years. Well, there's no sympathy to that. Certainly not in a social way. But the contract nature of it, that's why it's a bad deal. It's a bad business deal. If you're putting a business together, you wouldn't take that deal, but you will, because of exactly what he said. You want to believe. I'm romantic too. I want to believe that it's going to work. Right? I've been my wife for 27 years, and I hope I go to the grave with my wife, my arms, dying like that couple that was entombed at Pompeii, when the lava came down and they just hugged each other and they were like encased in like lava because they loved each other so much and they knew they weren't going to get away, and they just laid down and let the lava cover them over, and we found their bones later. How romantic. I hope you can have a marriage just like the dead lava skeletons of Pompeii or whatever it was, Mount Vesuvius. But the want for it, I think that's what's so kind of, I don't say it's sinister, but it's this want to contractualize that desire that men have, right? They want that. I would say most like marriages, caution is thrown to the wind because the guy believes in that idealistic nature of love and marriage, or maybe he's got religious, you mix some religion in there too. Women, on the other hand, are the pragmatists pretending to be the romantics. Men are the romantics pretending to be the pragmatists when it comes to this. Because you want to know why I have to keep repeating the fact that the red pill doesn't exist so you will hate women? It exists so you won't hate women for what they can never be to you. This is the crux of that argument right there. Men are the idealists. They believe that women can be something that they can never be for them. You want to be madly in love with your wife or your girlfriend, whatever. You want to be madly in love with it and go to the altar and she's like happy as a pig and shit to say, yes, I will obey. I don't give death do us part. Sickness and health. Yes, I don't care. You get cancer and you have a big old goiter on your neck or something like that. I'm sticking with you to the end because that's what I'm about. I'm a ride or die girl. That, you know, how that relationship develops? Well, polarity, first of all, but it develops because both of the people involved understand the nature of like how that other person conceptualizes love. You know what? I am going to do my damnedest to be the best version of myself for me, because that's what I'm about. But guess what? You benefit as a result of that, because I know I have to provide and be responsible and have all of this, you know, have all this duty to become the best thing that I can be, not because I want to, you know, I'm living up to the expectations of my wife, but the benefits that I accrue, the benefits I generate by being the best version of myself, that's going to go to my family, my dogs, my wife, and her family too, right? I don't think people really realize that the extent that marriage expands. In my lifetime, if somebody said, hey, you're going to be taking care of your mother-in-law for probably till she's gone, right? If you get married to this person, nobody asks themselves that. Hey, you know what? You might have to like actually, you know, help your dad, help your father-in-law out when he gets to old age. You might have to actually take care of somebody who's actually not in your immediate blood-related family. You might have to do that. And ladies, you might have to do the same. You might have to actually, you know, sack up and fall in love with his mother-in-law or with your mother-in-law, even though she's, you know, kind of hard to deal with. That's what you're marrying into. It's not just about you and him. It's also families. It's also children and grandchildren. Stuff that is that is in the future. That's what you're going to have to deal with. Are you ready for that? Or did you just want to get the wedding? Or did you just want to get at the altar and then yuck it up like a Steve Harvey episode? Because I'll tell you right now, if that's the case, guys, you just eject. Don't like if you're struggling along with that, if you want a Hafiz marriage, yeah, you probably want to eject. Because you have to consider not just yourself. Like I always say this, like, you know, it's like enlightened self-interest, right? Yeah, I can't help others until I can help myself. I can't help others as well as when I help myself first. That doesn't mean you're a selfish prick. That means you take care of you first, and the people who you care about benefit because you did what was best for you. And the benefits and the prosperity that flows out of those decisions also flows into your family. It also flows into your grandchildren. It also flows into your in-laws, your pets. God damn it. Yes, it's much more than just two people getting together, fucking and having babies and putting rings on each other's fingers. So that's, you want to know what? Well, we need to focus on families. Yeah, well, the first thing you need to do is understand that you might be, if things work out for you and you don't get divorced, you might be taking care of your in-laws that you might, at this point, not really care about, not really want to be around, right? That's the duty of Familia. I've always had that. A duty of Familia. Godfather.